Armistead, Maupin, this is the ninth and, you say, the last book in this Tales of the City series. Are you sorry to see these people go?
No, I'm not sorry. No, in a word. I know that sounds brutal, but I'm not sorry to see them go. I feel that there's, you know, all of the life I could put into them has been put into them, and they're there in 9 novels. I kind of got weepy on the last page when I was writing. I surprised myself with that. Not so much because I was saying goodbye to them. There was an element of that, but I was happy with what I'd done. I didn't see the end coming, exactly how I was going to do it, and it just sort of wrote itself, and it was very exhilarating, just kind of like taken off into space.
You may not have been unhappy, but I suspect quite a lot of loyal readers will be. This series, this sequence, both on television and in the books, has been tremendously popular. Why? What is it, do you think, that draws people in?
I've never been completely able to analyze that, but I think it has something to do with what I call the creation of the logical family as opposed to the biological family. People, especially in cities, who form connections with friends that sustain them in a way that family once did. And I have always maintained that your biological family can be part of your logical family, but not necessarily. I think there's that. And it kind of gives, because of its nature, it gives people permission to be themselves. A lot of the support has come from LGBT people who over the years were seeing their lives reflected for the very first time in the popular culture.
The character at the centre of these books is Mrs. Madrigal, who starts out as the landlady of this San Francisco apartment building. In this last book, she's 92, and you go back in time with her to revisit her adolescence when she was growing up as a he in a whorehouse in Nevada. This is an historical novel, and it's unusual for you because all your stuff is contemporary otherwise. It's all very much about the now. Was that an interesting experiment?
Yes, I loved it. It was wonderful to wander around in a time that I didn't know, and it was completely liberating.
You started out writing these back in the 70s, when the world for gay people was completely different. In many places it was still illegal, and it was unusual outside of a place like San Francisco to find people who were prepared, certainly in America, to be openly gay. And things have changed enormously. Now, how far do you take credit for that through these books?
I'm proud to have been part of that movement. I take a little bit of credit, yes. I mean, homosexuality was officially a mental illness the year before I started Tales. So, in part, I'm happy to have been, coaxed that along, but also it was happening to me. I was coming out to my own parents in the course of writing Tales, so it was this exhilarating experience of having my writing be part of my life and part of a movement, and I knew the minute I landed in it, this was going to be my life's work. And all I had to do was show how much fun it was to live my life, and to tell other people that it was just let go of it. Don't let that stigma weigh you down. Get on with life. Don't listen to, really, it's become more and more evident that it's only the lowest element of society, the least intelligent, the least progressive people that make this argument anymore, and that civilized folk will judge you on something other than that.
That may be true in the civilized West, in Western Europe, United States, because there are many parts of the world where that is not true. We have the Winter Olympics currently in Russia, where gay people have a very difficult time.
Absolutely. I make that point on the tour, that our job now, as people in the West, liberated LGBT people, is to make our best effort to reach people where they are hunted and tortured and terrorized, and it's dreadful. Every day there's some horrible story. In Nigeria, I think it was just yesterday, 30 gay people were tracked down and beaten with clubs in the public square, then taken into the police, to the police, where they were beaten again. And they do it all with the blessing of the government. So anywhere where there's a government like Putin's government in Russia, where it comes down from the top that these people are not to be tolerated, there's going to be violence. And I haven't figured out what I can do about it yet, but I'm working on it. I'd like to see a Russian language version of Tales of the City.
Has it not been translated?
No, I'd love to see it.
Maybe take a brave man and brave publisher to translate it.
Maybe, or put it online where they can't stop it, serialize it online. I'd love to have that happen. And it's not like it's a big propaganda piece. All it says is, look at these people are happy and they're living their lives and their straight friends love them. Yeah. That's all it does. But I guess it's been very reassuring to people along the way. I certainly see it on the book tour. There are a lot of people who burst into tears and tell me that they felt alone in a wee village in Scotland when they were 15 and then found the books.